used to think my father was showing me how to be a man, just like his father showed him. When Papi Lopez was outside on the corner with the bops, my dad was right there, watching, listening, soaking it all in. They drank. They talked shit. They swapped war stories like they were passing on scripture. And my father passed that same ritual down to me. Different crew, same energy. LaGuardia air traffic controllers, black and Puerto Rican dudes from the streets, just with careers now. After work, they'd hit the bodega for beers, grab me a Coke, then we'd all chill on a park bench like I was part of the crew. I was 11, 12, 13 years old, learning how to hang out before I even knew what that meant. And truth is, I enjoyed it. I loved it. That was time with my father. And it felt good to belong. When we lived in Puerto Rico, the pizzeria near our house was more like a pool hall, jukebox, pool tables, and a bar. We'd go and order a pie to take to the house. But while we waited, my dad would come back to the table with 2 Budweisers, one for him and one for me. Sometimes he'd go back for a second round. I was 15. By 16, he was showing me how to make rum and cokes. Even then, I loved that time with him. But now, I raised my son differently. When I named my first son Anthony, my father was pissed. He thought I broke tradition. He refused to call him Anthony for almost a year. Only called him Eddie Boy, because in his head, that name was supposed to live on forever. Eddie Lopez, after Eddie Lopez, after Eddie Lopez. But to me, that name came with weight. Not just legacy, but violence. Eddie Lopez meant something. It meant scars. It meant drinking. It meant women. It meant emotions not controlled. It meant fists. It meant rage. It meant generational damage passed off as manhood. So I put it to sleep. I buried it. I gave my son Edward as a middle name, so the legacy is still there, but it no longer breathes. I wasn't gonna raise my son the way I was raised. Not around those neighborhoods. Not with hood movies as bedtime stories. Not with bruises labeled as lessons. My dad once told me, ain't no 16, 17, 18-year-old kid whooping your ass out there on the street 'cause I'm 40 and I'm fucking you up. Ain't no teenager hitting as hard as a 40-year-old man. And he was right. That's why when I was fighting other kids, they couldn't faze me. I had already taken worse at home. But I didn't want to make my son tough like that. Not through pain, not through fear. I had to change everything. Because the Eddie Lopez before me, my grandfather, my father, even me for a while, we all drank, we all chased women, we all carried anger that could break bones and ruin lives. So I drew the line. Now, I train jujitsu. I don't drink, not even on weekends.